Oh yeah. Come on. Where the people is at? Where the people is at? Come on. This is your boy Marwan. About to set it off one more again, my friend. What's up? Oh yeah, oh yeah. How's everybody doing today, ho? Oh yeah. Tonight. Yasmin Bey, and we got Tanae. Yasmin Bey, how was your day? We're in the building that we got Tanae. Hello, Yasmin Bey and Tanae came up in the building just to say hey, hey. Sister Suge Avery, Sister Suge Avery, Sister Suge Avery, come on, yeah, oh, yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? What's happening, y'all? Tomorrow's your birthday, Sister Suge. Happy early birthday. I think this is Brogar's birthday today, too. Brogard birthday. Brogard. Happy birthday, brother. Hello, family. Speaking of family, right? Speaking of family, want to make sure we are considered family and this is not going to be considered a cult. I don't want this to be considered a cult. But family, or is this a cult? Family, Angel Eyes, or is this a cult? It makes you wonder how this cult that we know is going on and the leader's arrested now. It makes you wonder why they chose to go ahead and call themselves a cult. Right, Zenobia? It's pretty interesting how it goes because when it comes to the media, when it comes to the police, you hear the cult members saying, yeah, he is my God. He is my God. But you hear the cult leader saying to the police, and, you know, for the most part to the media, it's all entertainment. It's all entertainment, y'all. It's all entertainment. But the followers are saying, he is our God. Why couldn't they just be a family? But now we got something that we got to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with Nature Boy, the head of this cult, the gay escort who really didn't learn anything. You can tell he's easy to discard those people who needed him more than they needed them. Who needed him more than he needed them. Now, do you think Nature Boy is just gonna allow this to happen without any of his partners taking some of the fall? Do you think there could ever be a situation where they're asking Nature Boy, hey, if there's something that your family members did that you want to let us know, you don't have to be the only one taking the fall, bro. And what would Nature Boy do? A man with no morals, a man with no real loyalty. If you think about it, they talk that loyalty, but that's just something that a cult leader like him would force on other people. You got to be loyal to him. His loyalty is to himself, and that's been clear. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? That's the dangerous part. That's the dangerous part. But now that we're looking and we're checking out Immortal Morals, shout out to Immortal Morals, and we look and see that Daughter of the Sea, DOTS, was able to pull up the fact that Nature Boy, Eligio, is listed on the government's list as being somebody that he's on a watch list. Dots, daughter of the sea, solid channel, solid sister. She was able to provide, and I'm pretty sure it's out there also somewhere, pictures of Nature Boy's name on the government watch list as part of an extremist or terrorist organization list. How long he's been on there, I don't know. But listen, Immortal Morals, Carbonation is falling. Other people are bringing out the PPP loans, and any other paper fraud, right? White collar crimes, where you don't see Nature Boy's name, right? You don't see Nature Boy's name. Will his cult take the bullet? Will his cult agree to go to jail just to take more time off of him? Y'all hear what I said, y'all? Will that CarbonNation cult, at the end of the day, after all is said and done, do you think that cult, if they're given a chance, that if they spend some time in jail to free him, do y'all think they would do that? Do you think True, Malia, and all of them would agree to go to jail for Nature Boy just so he could be free? I don't know if they'll do that. So now what we're dealing with, what's the reality on the ground, Zenobia? What's the reality on the ground, Zenobia? You might see people wondering, like, wait a minute, are these people brainwashed for real? You see that former member named Tori, I think her name is Tori or something like that. Her baby daddy in the group is Musa. You hear her speak, Tori's talking about how the members are just as bad, that the members are basically accomplices, that the members know what they're doing is messed up, that the members are just as bad as Nature Boy himself. So when you hear Tori saying that, and she's been there before and gone back and exposed and gone back, but still, she's married now. She's trying to let everybody know these people know what they're doing. These people are there willingly, voluntarily, and they may be abusing each other. In other words, the way Tori is describing it as a former member herself is that they're accomplices. They're co-defendants. They are, what else? What's the other word I put up there? Accomplices. Oh, co-conspirators, right? That way, that would link in Nature Boy even to the PPP loans where his name is not. So long as they get other evidence, so long as they get other witnesses, so long as they get other people to snitch. Because this is sort of what's going on. It may be an exception to the snitch rule, even though the snitch rule might be kind of crazy for some people anyway, but this is an exception to the snitch rule. Maybe the court is going to look at them as victims of Nature Boy's manipulation. But check this out, Zenobia. Maybe Nature Boy would try to get the court he would try to convince the court that it's his own followers that really pushed him to be their God. Honorable, let me know how you feel about that one. Let me know how you feel about that one. Nature Boy trying to convince the judge or whoever that it was his followers that put the gas in his backpack, that got him all excited, that it was his followers that kept him into that position, that he tried all his efforts to kick them out and they just wouldn't leave. What if he tries to flip it back on them? Royal Queen said that won't work either. Yeah, no, I get you. Where does electricity? I should have had this at just like Daughter of the Seas channel. I should have had it a panel right? I don't want to make it seem like I'm just talking at y'all. You know, I'm trying to look at the look for some ideas up in here too, because they can go back to the very first video where he was recruiting. Yeah, well, you know, that's one thing to recruit, but this is what I'm saying, that I remember a couple of videos and even recently where he seems to be trying to tell his followers that he's done with being a cult leader. Remember that? That happened at least once or twice before, where Nature Boy made a video. He said he was no longer going to be a cult leader. And then the next thing you know, their followers were like, oh, no, what are we going to do? We need you. No, we're going to be here. And it seemed as if the violence got worse. And it seemed as if he started doing things extra, really, just to test them, to see if they would leave. So what if it's turned out that he's been trying to get them to leave? What's the deal, y'all? What do you think? But you know how it is, Osunyemi. We can say on one hand, hey, yeah, there's evidence that he wanted to separate himself. And we could also say that he's that deep into the mind games with his people. Almost like a woman who knows she got herself a man that really needs her and can't see life without her. So what does he sometimes tell her? I'm leaving your ass. You ain't gonna get nobody like me. Get the fuck out of here then. I'm done. I ain't trying to be your man no more. What you gonna do now? That could be another mind game for cult leaders, boyfriends, wives, to really play on the mind. So we can't even read too much into it, because at the end of the day, if you got yourself some experts to show how trauma works and how this type of brainwashing, deprogramming that they've been through, brainwashing, and how it really affects the brain in some people, because that's what they're going to break it down. That's how they're going to look at it. They're going to look at it as, is this a family? Should we be treating this as a family, one cohesive unit, meaning co-defendant, accomplice, co-conspirators? Or are they really going to be looking at it, as they've explained on all these news channels, as a cult, where the leader has a hold on these people, even though he's not holding a gun to their head, saying, stay here, stay here? Can it be possible that the manipulation is that deep for some people? Soul Talker 5 Dots, daughter of the sea. Hello, lady. Thank you for those kind words a couple seconds ago. I was thrown off a little bit. I was like, am I worthy? Am I worthy? But yeah, shout out to Daughter of the Sea, y'all. Make sure y'all go holler at her. Subscribe to that very sharp, very intelligent sister's channel. Very intelligent. She's the one that had the evidence of Nature Boy's name on that list, the government watch list. But where are we going to see that? Well, that's the level of devaluation. He make him think he doesn't need him, but in reality, he does. All right, let me show y'all something real quick. Check this out. Check this out real quick. Just want to show you something about cult behavior and the whether or not the cult member can be blamed for a crime. Look at this. Isaac Grimes is their name, ladies and gentlemen. Killed a best friend. You see the title? The Lonely Sophomore kills best friend and blames the crime on the cult. Let's see how this works out. This was back in 2009, though. Check this out. How far, and we're dealing with a high school sophomore, not adults. How far could an innocent high school student go to try to fit in? In a bizarre case in Colorado, the answer appears to be all the way to murder. Isaac Grimes is serving 60-year sentence for killing his best friend, Tony, when he was 15. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, but the most shocking part was his explanation of why he did it. According to him, it amounted to a twisted version of the children's game Simon Says. It all began in 1999 when Grimes entered his freshman year at that high school in Colorado. He was a lonely boy, not popular at all. He said, "I wasn't a people person, no." His parents, Rob and Donna Grimes, agree. It was like he was set apart and he didn't relate as much to kids his own age. He read lots and lots of shit. But early in that fateful year, he crossed paths with a charismatic high school senior named Simon Sue. The unlikely pair shared an interest in chess and video games, and with that, the upperclassman took the younger, nerdy boy under his wing, y'all. Grimes said Sue even offered him a chance to join his club called the OARA, Operations and Reconnaissance Agents. It would be the turning point of Isaac's life. For a young boy, and maybe some adults, desperate to have connections with others, hanging out with this person, this upperclassman, and being invited to that group was everything he desired. Just like CarbonNation, being out there in nature, naked, talking that spiritual talk, everything you desired at first. There was a lot of compliments, a lot of self-esteem building material, like you're one of us, you're cool, you're part of the group. Was there any devaluation of your humanity there as well? Grimes said he finally felt like he was part of a band of brothers. Sue reassured him that this group of boys, which included other high schoolers, would look out for one another. As much as they wanted their son to have friends, Grimes' parents were skeptical. One time I had said, Simon's a senior. Why is he hanging out with you? And he said, because I'm smart, recalled Donna, who was convinced this upperclassman preyed upon her son's vulnerability. It's a shark in the water thing. They smell blood, and I think Simon smelled blood. Same thing for Nature Boy, by the way. There are ways that people can smell blood, i.e., they can smell vulnerability in a lot of ladies and in a lot of males, too. And that's what these cult members and other toxic type of people can do. They can see your vulnerable ass a mile away. She couldn't have imagined that her worst fears, and then some, would soon be realized. The teenager says he was forced to murder. He said he was forced to murder. Okay, so whether or not this cult group called CarbonNation is ever brought to any kind of charge where they got to come into court, you're going to have to wonder, will they say that Nature Boy sort of forced them to do it? Somehow, without a gun, but some sort of manipulation? Will they say Eligio forced them to do it, or will they just take the charge, take it on the chin? No snitching, my friends. Kathleen Mann is a national expert on cults. We need experts on cults. She readily applies this label to this upperclassman's group. She's interviewed this upperclassman many times and helped his legal team. No, she's interviewed the youngin'. Grimes didn't know he was getting involved in a cult. Of course, this is the way that all these groups work, is they get you emotionally invested, and then they start to disclose their inner purposes. And then you begin to see what goes on in the background. And by the time you figure out what's going on, you're involved. Grimes and his so-called band of brothers would quickly move on from fun, harmless activities like chess to more dangerous ones. Grimes claims that Sue took the boys to a local range, practiced shooting. The group was organized like paramilitary. The dude started out as a lieutenant. He became a major and a lieutenant colonel in this group. This kid also says he was forced to eat and drink until he vomited, and that he had to repeatedly watch Faces of Death, a notorious cult film featuring gruesome footage of animals and humans being killed. This was all part of Sue's master plan. This is someone in high school coming up with this master plan, y'all. I think it desensitized me to violence. I had been trained into obedience like a dog at heel. Going against him would be like going against living. Basically, to me, just an alien thought. All of this was supposed to be part of their training in preparation for their larger mission, to be prepared to fend off a coup in the Sioux family's native land, the small South American country of Guyana. I think, Coincidentally, this tiny country is perhaps best known to Americans for another cult tragedy, Jim Jones. When asked now if he ever thought that claim was crazy, that the idea of a team of 15-year-olds going to fight in a foreign war was ridiculous, Grimes said, "No, I think I should have." Unlike this dubious geopolitical scheme, Grimes' motivation was simple and personal. His goal, his simple and personal goal, y'all, was just to have friends, just to be part of something bigger, something that they think is good. Sound familiar? Now we go to the unspeakable murder of the former best friend, being described as a loyalty test, says the kid that did the killing. Grimes, who was 15 at the time, claims he missed possible warning signs, of course, partly because he was under tremendous pressure, right? We brought up the word in Dot's live today. Someone brought up the word. Very intelligent young lady in the chat or came up on the panel of Daughters Daughters of the Sea channel that said the word coercion. What we're maybe learning more in this process is the concept of coercion. Okay, this means forcing someone to do it, but in the cult sense, it's forcing them without a gun. It's forcing them without putting your hands on them. It's forcing them, it's putting them through pressure, tremendous pressure. He maintains that this upperclassman named Sue had essentially been brainwashing him. He found out later. He believed that he would be killed. Now, whether that makes common sense or not is not relevant. What's relevant is that he believed this, and that all members of these kind of groups believe things that we don't understand. This is the byproduct of indoctrination, y'all. You see that? Indoctrination, which is major in carbonation, because he has them only listen to his voice. He has them only listening to his voice. He has them only listening to his voice. He has them only listening to his voice in carbonation. But we're moving on. This dude missed the signs, the warning signs. Grimes said he was ordered to do many things he did not want to do, including burglary, but was convinced if he did not follow Sue's orders, he and his family would be killed. He not only believed that this person would take action against him and his loved one, but that this group that he was part of was a global organization that infiltrated into law enforcement. This kid claimed that Sue had him make copies of the keys to his home and provide Sue with pictures of his entire family so he could identify them. He said he lived in constant fear, y'all. I remember being afraid, man, that he was always watching my ass. I used to go to the bathroom with the lights off, though, because I thought someone might be watching me, like that Michael Jackson song. He had me bring pictures of my family for him to send his superiors so that they would know how to kill, so they would know who to kill. He was convinced there was no escape, no way to tell his parents, no place where he could run for protection from what was happening to him. And he was 15 years old. He was not an adult. He was 15 years old. And as I said at the beginning of this story, he got 60 years for this crime. And I don't think the Sue person got convicted for this crime. So when Sue ordered Grimes to prove his loyalty by not just committing murder, but by killing his former best friend, Tony, and his family, the younger boy readily agreed. In this case, Simon Says was no childhood game. In New Year's Eve 2000, at the crack of the new millennium, Grimes viciously sliced his best friend's throat, nearly decapitating him. In the process, makes you wonder, what did he use to slice that throat? His best friend's grandparents, Joanne and Carl Dutcher, were also found shot to death in their home. But as details about the case and Simon's bizarre group began to emerge, the truth about this unspeakable crime grew even murkier. Could it be That Grimes was the real mastermind and Sue was just another victim? Could it be? And you know, I guess that Nature Boy is sort of the mastermind behind it. But is this group of misfits and dipshits innocent? Are they or brainwashed? Especially when you hear the video or testimony of one of the former members, Tori, who came online and was basically saying, look, these people are not innocent. I was there with them. They are just as evil. They are just as corrupt. They are just as spiritually fucked up. They are just as foul as he is. They are using this cult to manifest their own sick desires, is what one of the former members said. That they're not family, that they are family, that they are sort of co-defendants, right? What do y'all think? What do you think? Rape and false imprisonment isn't just forceful physical dominance or locking someone up. By legal definition, it can also be coercion or intimidation. That's another solid point, Angel. Another solid point, that you could be brought up on false imprisonment charges, even though we're just talking about the feeling of coercion, where there's no physical imprisoning of you. They're not holding on to you. They're not handcuffing you to a table. They aren't drugging you so you can't leave, but they've still got some sort of a hold on you. And Nature Boy, I'm pretty sure, and other people are aware of how to get that hold on some people. It's a program. It's like a thing. How to get that type of a hold on your woman. And sometimes in these people's minds, it involves crazy violence. It involves beating them just before they're about to die. It involves making them feel like you're the only one that they got, and they ain't gonna get nothing else. So how is this gonna work out, y'all? Are we talking about brainwashed victims here, as some people would like us to believe? Brainwashed victims that people should pray for? Or co-conspirators? Lisa Jane says, he says it all the time. I got your mind. And then the followers, they say it all the time. They say, I don't even have to speak because I listen to him and he's like, he's speaking my mind. So he says a lot of things, often repeatedly, right? Repeatedly. And if you continue to repeat a lie, and this lie is never really fought back against, it's going to become the truth. I mean, because to another degree, all of this stuff happens to a lot of people in the society. All, you know, the brainwashing, the whatever that's going on by mainstream media, mainstream radio, the mainstream messages that are sent from the United States abroad. You want to talk about drill music and what the real impact is? Okay, well, you see drill music sprouted up in London right after Chief Keef. Drill music also traveled from London, and then next thing you know, you got people in Australia doing drill music, even if they're not really living that sort of violent life. But people live in cultures where there's some sort of brainwashing, and you know, and you got to get out of it. Some people feel that way about different churches. Some people feel that way about their sororities and fraternities, secret groups. The whole idea, ladies and gentlemen, is how are these people gonna deal? Are they gonna look at themselves as defendants, where each of those cult members needs his or her own lawyer? Because they gotta worry about the next person, blaming them, putting your name on something, blaming you. This could all get ugly. Nature Boy could turn on his followers and say they made him be their leader. They could turn on Nature Boy and say, listen, I'll tell y'all whatever you want to know, but yes, we feared for our lives. You guys can see it on TV. We were trying to keep up our image, but yes, we feared for our lives. There may be still an out for these other people. They're there by Chico, but still deserve prayer either way. Oh, they're there by choice. Just like when he told the story of Neytiri leaving, he said he slapped her. Then they had sex. What person gets slapped, then voluntarily have sex? I said at that moment it was rape before it ever came out. Yeah. That's definitely toxic stuff right there. And while he may try to say, having aggressive sex is part of their plan, is part of their usual thing, she has to still prove that she said no, that she, pushed him off, or it's going to be difficult, especially with the rape case and how the court is going to look at the mental games being played, especially since Nature Boy always says that he got this treatment from the military. He said that he's gotten these tactics from the military somehow. And you know how there's so much rape in the United States military among fellow service among each other. A lot of women being raped in the military by U.S. service people. And also, I guess a couple of trans folks in the military are having their problems. So you're going to have the court evaluating his family now. The court is going to be evaluating his family or his cult. Is he the god that you know what I mean? So what's it going to be? They all need to be incarcerated. They all need to be incarcerated, says Fula Sports. We're talking a zero tolerance. We're talking there's enough evidence. We're talking all of them. Hey, that's a dangerous part. That's a dangerous part. But you know how that works, though, Fula. That's why I brought up that word earlier, snitching. And in other cases where there's a snitching going on, right? Even if you want to call them accomplices or accessories before the fact, accessories after the fact, you got to figure out how it's going to be if the facts prove that. They are definitely under watch, but they really need to be looking for shelter with an eviction on the rise. So this is their last month, or do they get another month after this? Because usually they might be able to just evict them on strength, because basically what has happened there falls outside of the protection of the lease. So they don't have to give him no 1 month's notice to kick him out now. I think he broke the lease by his activities and the loud noise and the people there. So this may be their last month. Yeah, exactly. Get them the hell out of here. Are the members still getting online? That's one thing I haven't done. I haven't checked anything. I haven't had a Bigo account or anything like that. And I don't know about their Twitter or Instagram. But like I said, we see Immortal Morals, other people on Instagram posting PPP loan evidence that she was able to find. And if it's ever proven that those loans are not really the legal type of loans, then other individuals might have to take a fall for those loans. And then the only question is, will they point to Nature Boy and say, he made us do it? He made us do the loans. He made us PPP. He made us, can't you see? He made us, man. If we didn't put our name on PPP, he would kill us. It would be, you know what I'm saying? So is that what's going to happen? Are they going to point fingers at him? If it ever comes to the members, are they going to point the finger right back at him and say, nah, he did it? That's our God. He pretty much coerced us to do it. Every time we did it, he pretty much coerced us the whole time. We didn't have our own mind. That's always something convenient, too. It's almost like too convenient for them to just fall back on it at this point. with all these years that they've been here, all these years that they've been in this group. So some people may be treated differently based on how long they've been there. What y'all think? Solar was on Bay Sade on Bigo this morning. That's another thing. These weirdos, man, they aren't going to be able to help with anything. This dude could possibly stay in jail, never see a judge for like at least a year. You know, no, they so loyal, they are going to say they did it willingly. That was their mission. All right, well, that's going to be the test. That's going to be the test. Will they should be volunteering their behinds. They should be at the police station, at the jail. They should be out here committing crimes so that they can go to jail. You ever think about that? They should be out there committing burglaries right now. They should be out there committing crimes just so that they can go into jail with Nature Boy. They should say, you know what? If God is in jail, I'm going where God is going. Just like people always tell you, go where people love you, like go where you are loved. Go where you are loved. These clan members, these dipshits, they might break laws, okay? They might start revenge porning each other. They might start revenge porning each other and brag about it and posting on it. And they might call their own cops that'll come to them. They'll call the special victims unit. They will rat on themselves just so they can join their father in hell. That just shows you how loyal these people are not. They should have said, no, we are not going to be separated from our God. If he goes if he goes behind bars, we goes behind bars. If there were any kind of a loyal group for real, if they really was really serious about doing it, they would have told those people, no, we are not going anywhere. We're staying. As if he's got to stay, we're all staying. But they didn't do that. They want to enjoy their clout without their overseer. And y'all know how it is. Thank you, T-Breeze. A year away from an abuser can work wonders on an oppressed mind. Look at R. Kelly girlfriend. And that isn't that something? Ivy refined. Next thing you know, I think R. Kelly's walking in the streets now. This motherfucker's twiddling his thumbs and shit, going to 7-Eleven, and he's back at McDonald's chilling again. Like, ain't that funny? Royal Queen said, remember last week? They said they would kill the police. Oh, yeah, they say so much just to really get on his good side for every 5 minutes because he can just flip on you real quick. See, True said it, right? According to Angel Eyes right here in the chat, True said, we behind bars anyway, even more so without our Master Chief, yo. They seem like they about that. They seem like they about that if they get locked up. They will think it's a part of their mission or something or other. As soon as the police showed up, they were shaking in them boots. True needs to go eat a sandwich. Yeah, because he's got more tattoo on his chest than he's got chest on his chest. And that's the real deal. Y'all see my Batman? Watch out, y'all. Watch out, y'all. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to be the issue from here on out. Are they just brainwashed victims? Or are we talking about co-defendants, co-conspirators, and accomplices and accessories before and after the fact? Are we talking about a brainwashed victimhood where they didn't have no agency, no control over themselves, even though they made their own decisions? Kind of in that group underneath his coercion? Or what? He's got more tattoo on his chest than he's got chest on his chest, man. And it's pretty weird. But True is the one that said, I'll lay down my life. I will cut off my right hand just to stand next to you, Nature Boy. And it's so weird. They have much more than a bromance going on there. It's like a whole bromance or something. I don't know what's going on. Are they co-defendants? Are they co-conspirators? Or are we talking about brainwashed victims? Is this a family? Are they close? Is this all a loving family? They're one and one together? Or is it a cult where there's coercion in the air at every turn that they're there? Bars. They need to go get some sleep since they don't have him there talking their heads off literally all day and night. He was calling back to back from jail, stayed on the phone an hour. They're not going to be able to get rid of him because they're just going to keep giving him money to make some calls, and that's pretty much how it's going to be. He's going to be able to make some calls and talk about how fucked up he is, how bad it feels to be there, how fucked up it is they're treating him, and how whatever. But he didn't tell the judge that he was God. So I doubt he's going to tell the inmates. And again, what are the inmates going to think? We'll see, man. But this is not, I don't know. Is this an innocent cult? Are these innocent cult members? I don't think so, y'all. I don't think so. But like we said, in some cases, people who have dirty hands involved in some sort of crimes, they may get lighter sentences. They may get better treatment if they rat out the main man, right? Because on their own, there's no screaming in the house. When these people are there and Nature Boy is not, there's no screaming in the house. There's no craziness going on. It's only when Nature Boy is there that craziness tends to happen because he's directing the craziness. He could be in the country for a long time, honestly, and DeKalb Police Department don't play. And they hand that time out just like it's candy. Well, yeah, he's going to be getting something, y'all. He's going to be getting something. They looked creepy, like the Black Mansons. Oh, snap. So that seems to be the interesting question, y'all. It really is. And whether or not these people were heavily manipulated. And we've got, like I said, we've got someone who was in that cult that says that all the members actually know what they're doing and that they're just as bad as he is. And I don't know if other members of the cult would disagree with her. I think they would probably agree with her. I haven't heard any former members saying the opposite. I have not heard any former members saying he's really been a good dude. He's been really loving us to death. More love than we didn't get from the father that we didn't have. Them letting him abuse them while taking part in the abuse suggests to me that it's more common form of brainwashing, right? Eclipse, letting someone manipulate them just so they can get away with abuse. Oh, wow. Angel Eyes says, nah, they pledge allegiance to him and all that comes with him, even after years of seeing what he does, who he is. They are co-defendants. Ooh. Angie Free said they are the Addams family. Definitely, though. I think them talking to the news reporter did more harm than good. That's the thing, because look, if you are one family, then all of y'all should just remain silent if you're one family. But if you're a cult and your leader's gone, then you may get more talking, which means you may get more incriminating. I agree with you right there, Royal Queen. But of course, he told them to talk to the news. There was no one smart enough to overrule this dude, even though he's behind bars. He's the one that told them, I should say, he commanded them to go talk to the news, tell him he innocent. He told him to do that. So they were just obeying orders. Yep, he said, we teach sex education and nudity. And you know what? We believe we should be living out in nature. And they're not nude. They're not living out in nature. And then, they fucking each other He loved the attention. They should get indicted as well. The stud girl said that he was violent and abusive, and she also said she would testify. Oh yeah, I remember that. She's in my compilation video. I don't know if you've seen my compilation video, the last video I did before this. I have that stud's voice in my compilation video. They said bond denied. He said, outstanding. Because he was hoping that his whole family at home would just yell at the TV, I'm standing out, or I stand down. Lisa Jane would love to be a fly in Nature Boy's cell. Well, at least if you're a fly, you can get the blood clot up out of there. The conscious community has already been looking bad, but hey, when have you seen a conscious community get a bunch of women and dudes out into the tropics? Like this is a different thing right now. You know, when he didn't have any kind of an elder pass him on. You may have other cult leaders that at least they got some education going from someone else and did the whole thing. This Nature Boy thing is like a first, you know, where the women are leaving and complaining and oh wow, he's got wives and he's getting people pregnant there and it's sort of out in the open and it's the first one openly on the internet, which causes its own issues, meaning it's like a gray area. Is he a reality TV or are those real screams? Is he a reality TV star or is he a porn star? Is he really a cult leader? Oh wait, see, so there's a lot going on in this. That's why I use the word bastardized because it's like a different level and it's showing us just through his example is that the devil is inside and maybe could potentially always be inside. The devil is inside. The devil is inside the community. The devil is inside the individual self, not something external, right? The devil is inside whoever's welcoming that spirit. And the devil right now is in jail. And his name is Eligio Bishop. And that's why I say the devil is inside. The conscious community has been bastardized. There's no father to that community. And you know how bad that is, right? The whole conscious community is like was raised by a single mom. Right? If you think about it, y'all, the whole conscious community, y'all, since we're saying the conscious community is bastardized by this Nature Boy story, the whole community is bastardized. That means the whole conscious community was raised by a single mom. If we think about it that way, that the culture, the conscious community was raised by a single mom, meaning there's no father to the conscious community itself, right? It makes sort of sense because you got different religions all up in there. You got people following all different things. And even within that, you have corruption. Even within that. Did I say feed me a strawberry? What do you mean by what do you mean by that? Did I say feed me a strawberry? Wham. Not sure what that means exactly, but this is what we're saying is heavy. The conscious community has been bastardized. And you know what? I'm probably going to do one more video, y'all. But this is going to raise another issue because the conscious community is bastardized. And we're also noticing that there are some corrupt people with corrupt spirits. And at the end of the day, what does it mean? It means that they are the ones who use their melanin as sheep's clothing. They are the ones who choose and they know how people are going to view their melanin being dark and black. They use that as sheep's clothing, while all along there's a devil within. And that may be the style, that may be the sort of paradigm maybe of the conscious community that has no father, the conscious community that's been bastardized and allowed to sort of turn into some other thing, to the point where a lot of people become even more skeptical of this thing called conscious community, of this thing called knowledge and consciousness, more skeptical of joining groups, thinking that those groups can validate your spiritual behind. Crazy stuff, Agwan. But the whole idea of the conscious community having no father, the conscious community being bastardized, and not realizing that the devil is inside, meaning don't get caught up by the external looks. And that's what a lot of these followers of these cults, they got caught up of the external. They got caught up in the fact that he was abroad in the tropics. Some people only saw 2 Nature Boy videos before they went to go live with his diseased stank behind. 2 videos of his. They jump up and go live with him. So you have a problem with discernment, as what was said in this chat before, a problem with discernment. You have this thing where you feel like you need to go join someone, which is not that bad in and of itself, but people have no discernment. Ain't that right? What's up, nondescript? Their father is Malachi York, a pedophile. Well, it is, yeah, they all seem to point back to, they all seem to sort of point back to some, yeah, oh, really? Wow, that's kind of heavy. That's kind of heavy. That's kind of heavy. Well, you know how that is. They could still be bastardized, though, but it's just an illegitimate child, you know, that these are like illegitimate children, I should say. So there's going to be a father, right? Because if you're existing, you had to have had a father and a mother. But what we're saying is, right, the nature of it is a little bit different. It's a deadbeat dad. It's a dad that didn't really, teach the kids, or maybe they did teach the kids the right way. And people became more interested in being an individual, which is more a case of not having a solid foundation, not having a functioning home. It's a dysfunctional conscious community, dysfunctional culture, which begets dysfunctional relationships and more toxic, bitter resentment and killing and hating and loving and faking. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Patron Gold in the building. What's up, T Breeze? Honorable Razzie. They all want the power York had. Wow, thirsty for the power. No one man should have all that power, but yet they fight for it. They do whatever they can to get that power that no one man should have. Just so, I guess, so they can be called that one man that could have. Crazy. Yeah, I remember Quatermani. There's a whole YouTube channel called Quatermani Fraud. Like there's been a woman or two, or a few or three maybe, that came out and said that there was some fishy practices with Quatermani, but I didn't look into it. I don't know what that is. But she has a whole channel called Quatermani Fraud. You should check her out. She's got very interesting commentary and very interesting perspective on her experience with Quatermani himself. And I think there may have been another lady there. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Malachi York, I don't know. Nature Boy, I don't know. But one thing I'm saying is, people are going to be looking into this cult, right? Like they've already been doing, and wondering, did these adults do it? Did they do any crime? Or will they try to deflect? And any crime that they are said to have committed, are they going to say, nah, son, we were under duress. We had to do it because we feared for our lives. We know the way Nature Boy beats up on his women and the way he already beat up on one of us. We know what he's capable of doing. We want no piece of that. Kia Harris says, I know Nature Boy, Polite, and Pharaoh were all on Sonetta, calling the black woman God. Now, God is pressing charges on all three of them. Well, yeah, another person by the name of Sika, she says another version of that number three, which is interesting. She says that there are three women from New Orleans that are giving Nature Boy problems. His original wife, which was Yaya, you remember Yaya? The next one was Velvet Eliana, hey baby. And the next one from New Orleans, I think, is Malia. Is Malia from New Orleans? They're saying that those three may be the three that may end up taking him down. Uh, who knows? Who knows? But there's all types of threes going on out here. Boom, boom, boom. And and on the third day he rose from the dead. So you think, what's the third day? Is that tomorrow? And on the third day. So let me know something, y'all. When was this person named Jesus crucified? Was it on Good Friday? Saturday, Sunday, no. Thursday? I'm bugging y'all. When was this Jesus guy crucified? All three of three. I'm trying to figure out this weekend's holiday, y'all. What does it really mean? I know Easter means what? That's when Easter eggs. They ain't got nothing to do with the religion. Oh, y'all ain't gonna help me out. We got all these people here. Nobody's gonna tell me when this dude was crucified. Is that why we celebrate Easter? Oh, spring equinox. Yeah, but was he crucified on Easter, or did he come up from out of that cave on Easter? I'm trying to figure out what this weekend is about. I forgot, y'all. I forgot the whole purpose of Easter. It sort of escaped my mind. I know we just passed what they call Good Friday, and there's something called Monday, Thursday. Oh, okay. Okay. That's so interesting. If he was crucified on on Good Friday, and that's the same day. Okay. Patron Gold says the Friday before Easter is the Christian holy day commemorating the crucifixion. Okay, so that's interesting that on that day is the day that he was denied bond, right? It's almost like it's almost like Nature Boy was crucified on that day by being denied bond. He was sort of told, no, you're gonna stay your ass right there. And his followers probably think he's going to emerge from the depths of the prison or jail. On the next day, that whatever the holiday is, on the third day, he rose from the dead and ascended into heaven and sitting on the right hand of God, the Father Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth. Yeah, I don't think CarbonNation's getting any ideas. CarbonNation is in the hands of the law. That's what I'm saying. None of your business. None of you better believe it. That's what I'm saying. When I first asked the question, I was like, all right, is it Friday that he was crucified? But then I thought he rose on the third day, and that's Saturday, Sunday, unless they count Friday and Sunday. And on the third day he rose Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's see, third day. He was crucified on Friday, and on the third day he rose. That means Friday he was crucified, and that counts. Saturday he ain't rise yet. Sunday he rose on the third day. There you go. Solved that problem right there. They are secretly happy he's locked up. Yeah, I think so. If they have any human bone in their body, there's a part of them looking around, doing things in the house that he would not allow, right? Right now, a lot of them are walking around without two other people, right? Because he would yell at you if you walked around the house with only yourself there. You had to walk in threes, believe it or not. You had to walk around the house in threes. So I'm saying right now, since he's not around, they're walking around by themselves. They're like breakdancing in the living room where he likes to do his quiet meditation. They are eating food without worrying about like they're passing gas everywhere. They're farting. They are taking showers now. You know, like now they're starting to take showers because he prefers them to smell a certain way, just like TKO. But are they co-defendants though? Are they accomplices? Are they accessories after the fact? Accessories throughout this crime of his? Or what? And is he going to be the one to point them out? If you're going to take me down, y'all ain't going to take them down? Y'all really going to put me back there for all these years for PPP loan? My name is not on any of those loans. Nah, this is not going to ride. Y'all got to bring some of them back here. Y'all got to bring some of them back here. They did those PP on their own thing. I ain't beat nobody to get the PPP. That would be sick if these dudes were twerking to Keith Sweat music while Nature Boy's sitting down. That would be wild. And I guess funny as hell. I would never want to see such a thing, but that would be wild if that's the truth. That's the part I'm interested in seeing. They should go live. They're probably playing other music. They're not playing Nature Boy's music anymore because while he's there, they could only play Nature Boy's music. Now they're playing all types of shit. They're playing, but no, they played some R&B. I remember hearing some R&B in there. But whatever. They're doing whatever Nature Boy told them not to do. That's what their CarbonNation is doing right now in their own home, wondering how they can enjoy their lives without this beach ass nigga. Musa been the bottom? Maybe. He might be competing with True, or maybe at this point they're all bottoms. They would probably run to that position of bottom. They would probably at least sound like they would give their lives to be the bottom. And it's just weird like that. So this is going to be a cult of first impression. If it hits like the mainstream, people are going to be like, I've never heard of nothing like this. This takes Jim Jones to another, because he operated online. He recruited online. I don't know if Jim Jones did all that. There was no online for Jim Jones to use. Yeah, that's the part a lot of people aren't really willing to they ain't really talk about that yet, handling the idea that God got booked. God got booked. They told God to bend down, spread your cheeks, cough. They told God to take his right hand and hold his left ankle and bend down and cough again. They told God to do it all. They told God to strip the clothes off. They told God to take an HIV test. They told God he's not the best. They told God that he's staying. He ain't getting no bail. He ain't getting no bond. Damn. They keep trying to compare it to Jesus and the crucifixion of Jesus. Was Jesus charged with rape? Was Jesus charged with revenge? Whatever they had out there they didn't have internet porn. Did Jesus rape anybody? They want to compare this dude to Jesus and be like, well, Jesus was arrested. Jesus spent some time in jail. You know what I'm saying? Jesus rose on the third day. What the hell? Yeah, but he didn't rape nobody. He wasn't charged with rape. He had a chance to rape. He could have raped that hoe. Jesus was right there talking. I think her name was Mary Magdalene.
She was known in the biblical hood for giving up her good. It's the oldest profession. It's the oldest profession. So Jesus rolled up on Mary Magdalene and he didn't have sex with her. He could have taken advantage of her vulnerability. He could have taken advantage of all that, and we still don't know whether that he did. We don't know. We don't know. All we know is his baby mama was a virgin, and that's allegedly. They ain't say nothing about him being a virgin. But anyway, Jesus helped his community. There's no evidence that Jesus was scamming anybody. In fact, Jesus screamed on his disciples. For those of you who know the story, Jesus screamed on his disciples because they were all up under his behind so tough. They were always looking to him to help. They were always looking to Jesus to do something. They were always doing that, calling Jesus good. And that is what annoyed Jesus because people wouldn't recognize they got the God within themselves. That's why today I honestly believe that if this were a true story and his name, if it was really a Jesus, he would come back today and he would notice how many people are praying in his name. He would notice how many people are sitting back and saying, Jesus, take the wheel. And Jesus is like, what are you talking about? You want me to take the wheel? Look at what I left. I left you all the instructions. You know the golden rule. You know your power, or you should know. Don't keep calling me on everything for every goddamn thing. You're lazy. So that's the aspect of Jesus and his relationship with the disciples, that he was not having no worship. If we really look at the story, this dude, Jesus, really named something else. The letter J wasn't even available back then, but he would not want no worship. Oh, no. In fact, he would turn it right back and say, you. Do you. I did me. You do you. You got the power. Don't call me good, motherfucker. If it will help you to get better or to get your situation, to get your power, then don't look at me as good, all right? Don't look at me as good, man. If I gotta take that L and to be seen as regular in your bitch ass eyes, then I'll be regular, bitch ass disciples. Get up and learn about the power within. Right? That's my understanding of the Bible, of that, at least that part. And I was looking at that story pretty early in my day, man. I was looking at that story of Jesus and his disciples pretty early. I'm talking like high school, and I did notice, or anybody, even later on in life, you can just Google, when did Jesus get mad? You can just Google, was Jesus ever angry? You could just Google, right? Because people are always trying, at least they're claiming to try to be like Jesus, to walk around with something that they like to call Christ consciousness. They claim it. They like to claim it all the time. And yet, the first thing they want to do is give Jesus the wheel. And that's what happens with CarbonNation. All they wanted to do was give Nature Boy the wheel. Nature Boy, look, take the wheel, dude. Nature Boy, take the wheel. I ain't trying to drive, nigga. I ain't even trying to be a responsible passenger driver. I'm not even trying to be awake in the back seat while you drive. I'm going to go to sleep. I ain't going to worry about where we going. You take care of that. You the driver. I'm going to go to sleep. Let me know when we at. All right? I'll rely on you to get me my food. Let me know where I can go to the bathroom, but I'm going to go to sleep in this ride, and I'm going to give you the wheel, and and therein lies the whole manipulation and indoctrination. They willingly sometimes give up your stuff, like the women in For Colored Girls. They gave up their stuff. They give up your spiritual stuff to a pastor that fuck them. They give up their economic stuff, right, to a guru that robs them. And they give up their emotional stuff to an abusive gay escort that terrorizes them and diminishes them and has them feeling even more like shit. And so we're learning through Nature Boy a lot more about transfer of demonic energy through sex, transfer of different types of trauma through anal sex. This is what Nature Boy is teaching us. And unfortunately, it's been working on some of those people. And they're still trying to heal to this day. They're still trying to heal to this day. You're still looking at a Janae that, yeah, she has this lawsuit, yeah, and it's definitely in the authorities' hands now, but you can tell she's not, you can tell she's still at that level where she's not herself yet. She's still going through the deprogram. Yeah, because it was tough. They sold their souls, and maybe they continued to sell it. It's like maybe every act of demonic sex was another selling of the soul, a deeper selling of the soul. And then, if those walls could talk. Ashley D. Wagwan says, do you think this is finally it for him? He will finally pay, or do you think he's going to get off with light time? Oh, man. I really don't know, you know. It does depend on what kind of lawyer he has, right? You get yourself a good lawyer, you got a better chance of at least getting less time. I did do some sort of research on a lot of different cases where it came to the court as a rape. Like, it came to the court as a sexual assault. But the next thing you know is what? They have these things called a plea deal. Since the prosecutor and the public defender are both working for the state, they're both working for the state. That's why you need your own defense lawyer. They both working for the state. They might come up with deals. So if you have a sex assault that came on the table, and at the end of the day, they may take a plea deal so that that sex assault now turns into something called aggravated assault, which is totally different. And then there's less time. So unfortunately, there's a lot of cases out there where the rape charge is the original charge. But before any trial even happens, before there's any witnesses taking the stand or any picking of a jury, this defendant has an opportunity to take a plea deal, maybe that the prosecutor offers, which, he may have some time in jail, but it won't be the maximum, right? Like I heard a story of a kid who was pretty young, and if he had taken the plea deal, he probably would have gotten 25 years. But because he did not take the plea deal, he ended up being convicted guilty, got 60 years on top of that. Janae, hopefully that's another problem with a lot of these people in these cults, is that they think, especially if they look at themselves as already spiritual before they go see Nature Boy, what they end up doing is trying to heal themselves, right? They go home, they might do something with like tarot cards, or they might slap on some Palo Santo sticks, and they just stay within themselves and start praying, and I'm so sorry, God. I'm so sorry, God. Clean me, God. But they're trying to heal themselves, and that never really worked. I mean, you got to sort of go through a professional, I think. You got to go through a professional, I think. What's happening? Fundivi, Noel Trent. Ashley D said, did you see that video that Solar is in a sexual act with that transgender that went to CarbonNation for day one? Say what? Nah, I didn't see no video, and I wouldn't want to see no video of no dude in a sexual trans situation. So no, I didn't see that. Do you think it was smart for Neytiri to post a video with an open case? No. I don't care what she said. Just you telling me that Neytiri has a video out, and let's just say she did it yesterday or something, or 2 days ago. Yeah, no matter what she said in the video, because I hope she's smart enough not to talk about the case. So I'm going to give her credit in advance and say She probably didn't talk about the case, but I'm saying no matter what, she shouldn't be up online. She should be up online. That's like a regular, that's like their thing. That's the carbonation thing. Come online and speak your heart. And there's a time to shut the hell up, right? There's a time to be quiet. Even if there's something on your heart to speak, there's a time to be quiet. Even if you think you're being called to say something, right? It's like these people are right in the middle of being healed and they still think that way. They still start thinking that they're being called to talk. Nah, you're being called to shut up, to heal, and deal. Stop. Don't worry about being nobody's hero right now. Don't try to act like people won't be able to manage their lives if they don't hear from you, Janae. I mean, I'm just saying. But I'm hoping that she is getting the help with a trained professional, not just herself, not just sage, not just incense and Palo Santo sticks and 932 or 432 hertz music, whatever the frequency is. You're probably going to need a little bit more than just a little drum or something of your in your on your own. You're gonna need something heavy, because she went back and came back and came back again, and slobbed and came back. So I just think rape cases are difficult to prove, and I don't like the idea of a woman's character being on the stand. I don't like the idea of that happening, right? Of her being drilled about her sexual proclivities with men. I don't like the idea of her being seen on the record in court as a whore, even though people might toss that around and whisper behind and in front of her back that she sort of gets around, but she's not promoting that about herself. And she still has an opportunity, yeah, to overcome the dark shadows of her own life, right? She has an opportunity to be an improvement. If you notice, Nature Boy seems to attract a lot of people who were criminals, former whores, former strip walkers. I don't know, but he's got a couple of genuine people there. Like I think Sheba was sort of a virgin at first, and I think a couple other people came there with a pure heart. You know what I mean? He's facing 25 to life on that rape charge. 25 to life on the rape charge. Well, the thing about it is, I don't know if it just says rape there on the charges. Does that mean first degree rape, second degree rape? We know it's not aggravated rape necessarily because there's no weapon. But yeah, I'm not going to say that word, right? Lape, word, R word, R word, R word. It's the R word. Even though I'm in the middle, I'm deep into this live. It's like 70 minutes. Janae is writing a book, lesson learned, and needs new clothes, a car to further her healing. I don't know. Can never pay someone to beat my ass. She needs to learn to control her tongue. I'm telling you, they go to the camera. They feel like I'm being called. They feel like they're the type of people that they write statuses on their social media, and the nature of their status is like this. They started out like this. I don't know who needs to hear this. That I don't know how to take those statuses and those posts when they started off with, I don't know who out here needs to hear this, but I was moved to go ahead on and tell you anyway, motherfucker. And you like, really? And then sometimes it's one of those simple things that somebody's gonna pick up. It's like saying something like this. I don't know who out here needs to hear this, but the sun is shining and the weather is nice. Go out there and have a good day. That's something pretty simple that a lot of people might need to want to hear every day. But beware of those people to be like, I don't know who needs to hear this, because they like to. Those are the type of people that likes to just throw stuff at you. They show up at your door like Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, they want to ask you, do you have a church home? I don't know if you needed me to ask you that. Yeah, so you got to wonder about those people. You got to wonder about those people who start off on Facebook or wherever, and they go, I don't know who out here needs to say this or who out here needs to hear this, but I'm just moved to tell y'all something. I'm just moved to give you a word, right? So it's like, what's going on, man? If you don't know if anybody needs to hear it, then you know what I'm saying? I mean, why you got to say it? You just volunteering shit, right? Speak when you're spoken to, right? The student will come find the teacher. But there are people that will try to force themselves as your teacher or force themselves onto you. No, the student has to go find the teacher. I mean, man, I don't know who need to be hearing this shit right here, but I want to give a good word today. God damn. Crazy. But anyway, we got another one saying, can they add extra charges for witness tampering? Well, Angie Free, we'd have to know if he actually did the tampering. We heard, I think we heard the brother say it on the phone. Go ahead and contact her. Go ahead and do this. But we would have to know that that next step was taken. And I don't have any evidence to say that evidence that says the next step was taken. And the next step that has to be taken is the beginning of the tampering, the approach to her to be contacted. And he said no, he hadn't contacted her up until then. So far, no tampering, I don't think. Would she have to submit an R kit? I don't think so. I think people have been charged with rape without a rape kit because you got so many brothers back there, there's no DNA involved, and they were guilty. 30 years later, they're free. Right? Isn't that messed up? I think Solar has to follow through with it for it to be exactly, Angel Eyes. T Breeze, Noel, that means she needs a job or two. This is for somebody. You know what I mean? I know. You know what I'm saying? It's almost related to each one teach one. Like all you got to do is if you find one person to hear your message, that's all you really need. So I'm going to write this speech. I'm going to make this post because I know one person out there needs to hear it. So they're different versions of the same thing, right? They're different versions of the same thing. I know one person. If this hits one person's soul, my day would be made. Or the next one would be, I don't know who needs to hear this, but here it go. I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. Patron Go. I wonder what makes them want to live under the control of some man. Like they have no desire or passion to rule over themselves. I don't know. I mean, like it is, you see different levels of it at the same thing. You got a lot of people who are working for someone else, working for some other company, right? They're out here doing all that when they could be working for themselves. They could be working for themselves. You got people out here putting their kids in certain schooling, public school, fucking their kid up when they could have maybe decided homeschooling, schooling the kids yourself. So it's all types of levels of the same type of thing that you see, where you see people sort of giving up either all or a little bit of their own agency, their own ability to make change and grow. And they go ahead and say, hey, I want to do it with somebody else. I want to let somebody else who has the plan before I got the plan. I'll work for them. They'll hook it up. I'll work hard. I'll rise up in the ranks, but it's going to be their thing. So it's a question. Why would anybody want to, I don't know. It's all a mental thing. The story I read earlier, it's something as simple as the need to be a part of a group and the need to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And as long as that need is being fulfilled, we don't have the right, I guess, to really judge until there's some crime being committed, because everybody's different. Some people need to be in a gang. Some people don't. Some people need to be in a sorority fraternity. Some people go so hard to be in these fraternities and they end up dying during the hazing process, where you're either beaten or forced a bunch of alcohol and all types of things just to test how much you really care about being a brother or a sister and all that good stuff. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know the deal. This whole carbonation trip is like an in living color skit. That's right. It's broken people trying to be healed by a shattered soul. Broken people trying to be healed. Wow. Wow. But it's also a shattered soul breaking people who thought that they were there to be healed. Like, it's weird because they're going there to be healed, allegedly, right? Which could mean anything, right? To be fucked or to be spiritually healed of their diseases that they come down there with. So they go down there to be healed only to end up with this demon on their back that they gotta deprogram and detox from. That is weird. It's like, it's weird. It's weird that something so blatantly not could be seen as that thing. Something so blatantly devil could be seen so God. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. But some people are believing he was set up by someone from the inside because they aren't really expressing emotions. That could be part of the deprogramming. That could be part of the trauma thing, because for some of them, it may have been traumatic for their God to be arrested again, to be thrown in the USA feds. Then they start thinking all negative things and they can't speak, they can't talk, they can't move. They don't know how to operate without their mouthpiece, without their brain, without that. So it's heavy. So what you're looking at maybe are some people who are in some kind of a vegetable state. Intellectually, they're now in a vegetable state because they're torn from the root, I guess, and they can't, their mind is gone. So while they are awake, just like a lot of people who become vegetables, they're awake. These cult members, they're awake, but they're sort of like vegetables, they're sort of like vegetables. And Nature Boy is another one. Nature Boy is another one who's not really in touch with his emotions. So if you remember, he's never really acted like he's in something serious. He's never really, I don't think his brain could go there to say, oh no, this is serious as hell. And for him to, you know what I mean? Even when he was on the bus, he got the cops coming in, and you would think he would just say, all right, we're coming. But no, he's like, I love you, I love y'all, I love y'all. He's not thinking of consequences. There's something that just doesn't register. He's beating people almost to death. There's something that just doesn't register. Sincere, thank you. He's beating people crazy. He's openly lying. Something's not registering. Like, he has no feeling, I think. And that's what happens when you've been a gay escort for 10 years. You tend to numb yourself to a lot of pressures. You tend to kind of lose feeling in the heat of certain moments when you've been a gay escort, a gay stripper, and a proud gay porn star. And oh, also, you were known as the hottest thing of the South. He had a name. He was moving from state to state within those 10 years of being a gay escort. He had a name of being the mouth of the South. And next thing you know, he's a guru. Oh, wow. The devil right there before your eyes. How do you do it? How do you get out? Some of the folks who join cults don't realize they are looking for a dom submission. Yeah, he may be right. A dom submission. What? Yeah, maybe they were looking for something like that. I don't know. Whatever that is, a dom submission. I don't know. Malone 410. Kimberly Dixon. That's nice to see you. Nice to see you. See, PKR, nice to see you up in here. Yeah, so it's something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Are we talking about brainwashed victims? Are we talking about a cohesive unit, a family of co-defendants, accomplices, co-conspirators, and accessories after the fact? How's it going to play out? Who's going to turn on whom? Is Nature Boy going to say, are y'all are really going to hit me with all these charges? You're going to hit me with PPP loan? You're going to hit me with manipulating them to do their thing? No, 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 no. Y'all going to have to go get them because I could testify against them just like I know they're going to testify against me. He has no idea what that. That's why he's calling, bro, almost every day, checking the temperature of his coat just to see where they are. Are they telling on him? Or have they stopped defending him openly? He's going to keep calling. He ain't going to go down by himself, right, Handling? Hasn't he said that? I ain't going down by myself, y'all. And they've also agreed, we'll go down with you. We'll go down for you. But they never jumped in front of the cops as they arrested him. This is the part that bugs me out. They should have jumped in between him and the cops as they were handcuffing him. They should have voluntarily jumped in between. If they're really bout it, bout it. Ride or die. But no, they got to sit around and ask him, hey, Chief, can we defend you now? Or how should we defend you, Chief? Let us know right now in the heat of the moment. The cops are right outside, Chief. How should we defend you, Chief? We see you're being handcuffed right now. We told you before you were handcuffed that we would lay our lives down for you. Hey, Chief, do you want us to do that right now? Or what? Because they may never see him again. The illmatic part of all this is that they may never see Nature Boy again. And at some point, they may never want to, but we're catching them right in that little gray area, the transition phase. They're still in that honeymoon. They're still sort of attached. Even though the umbilical cord has just been cut officially, they may still feel that attachment since they were basically in his womb this whole time. CarbonNation members were basically in Nature Boy's womb this whole time. Dom and submissive relationships. Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. They just want it with a spiritual twist to it, I guess. They just want it with it like a, it's crazy. But all these things are something to consider, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you haven't considered them yet, again or before. And I'll try to do more Spreaker or StreamYards so that we can get some more people up here to talk. And it's not just me seeming like I'm just rambling, you know what I'm saying? Lisa Jane made it seem like almost like the Matrix where you plug into those little pods. She says, because he rules them. Without him, they're unplugged. They're unplugged. Vegetable. Fruit far from the tree. A lot of different things that they are. True was like, this is just a test, 3. Don't let it get you down. It's just a test. Yeah, well, he's down. Whether he feels down or not, he's down. He's down for the count. But it is what it is. We'll see how it works. We'll see the different evidence, how it unfolds. We'll see if Velvet and other people can stay offline. And then we'll see how everything works from here on out. Because who in the world, like Patron says, who in the world would take his place? This is the thing. He made it so that there is no place. He made it so that they are there to serve him, and they all agreed to serve him. He got them tripping off it because he tells them to serve him the way they want to be served later. He tells his little flunkies that they one day will be worshipped just like him, and that their period of being worshipped would be better than his the more energy they put into worshiping him. Some crazy shit. But can y'all really imagine anybody worshiping anybody, first of all? But who's gonna who would worship a true? Who would, in my opinion, who would worship a nature boy? Who would worship any man? Who would worship any man? They should serve some sort of time just for worshiping a man. And I don't mean necessarily time in jail. I'm just saying they should serve some time, whether it's long time in therapy, long time in a straitjacket somewhere, long time really detoxing, deprogramming. That's what they need for real. That's what they need for real. Queen Melanin, what's happening? Patron Gold, and then Rose Blue says Jesus is Lord. Hey, let me look in the chat. Has anybody asked Rose Blue who Jesus is? Let me look into the chat. Because I know I didn't. There's someone in the chat that just popped up and said Jesus is Lord. But I want to look first to see if anybody asked. Hold on, let's see. I'm going to scroll through the whole thing just to see if anybody asked who Jesus is. Nope. And then Rose Blue says, I hope you worship Jesus. Why do you hope that? And if I don't, are you going to take it upon yourself to think you're going to educate me about the dude? Be careful, Rose, or I'll blow you off. Y'all see how I just did bars on the last name? Be careful, Rose, before I blow you off. Rose Blue. I never seen them smile and smirk so much. Low key, they happy. He's locked up. Yeah, they're giggling. They have no one to tell them what's so funny, right? It's like a normal human giggling that they're into, and that he was always like, "What y'all laughing at? There's nothing funny in this world. White supremacy, bitch. We ain't got time to be doing nothing but working, sleeping, and eating. White supremacy. Why you laughing? Why you playing? What are you reading over there? What? It's not my shit." Turn it off now. Put your face in the ground. They drinking all the Henny. They are probably earring regular now. Earring? Yeah, they probably are earring regularly now, man. Whatever earring means, they are probably earring regularly now. Yeah, because before they were never really earring like that. If you ask me, some people would be, oh, that damn autocorrect or auto incorrect. That's what that was. That was auto incorrect. Because at first it gave you something wrong. They gonna take the donations for the lawyer and get ghosts. They really got people throwing in money for a lawyer. Wow. I guess foo, and then we'll go back to the streets. They got a lawyer called Bill Sherman. Well, hopefully Bill Sherman would hopefully he's a sure man. Hopefully he's one of those sure men of their innocence. Is he a sure man? Is he sure of their innocence? Is he sure of his skills as a lawyer? Is he sure, man? He was the dom, and they were his submissives. Yep, yep. Or he would try to force them to try to be a dom, and he would submit. And he would force them to do it. They'd be like, "What, man? You want me to do what?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, I can't even say the words. Never mind. Never mind. All this talk of submissive and then I gotta look up Bill Sherman and see if you got the gumption. Oh, Love Letters from Hades. Is that the real name? Bill Sherman, a white dude? Of course he's white, right? He's there to serve his master, Nature Boy, right? But it's time he's gonna pay that dude, I bet. How come the news never mentioned Nature Boy's famous words, "I did 5 years in prison"? Yeah, I don't know. Same reason the news never mentioned. This is the same reason Nature Boy never said, "I am God" to the news. Nature Boy never said, "I am God" to any judge. Nature Boy never said, "I am God" to any police officer anywhere. but his followers have. His followers have said, "That's my God over there." But he's like, "This is all entertainment." What y'all talking about? So as Nature Boy's like, this was all entertainment. I never expected them to really put all that PPP loans in their name. But then after they did it, I was like, wow, y'all did it. All right, I guess I'll just keep going along with this. I never told them directly. I didn't force them to put their name on the PPP. It's going to be interesting. Are they a family? Are they codependents? Are they co-defendants? Are they accomplices? Or is the cult themselves a bunch of brainwashed victims who were always under duress, who were always feeling some sort of coercion, even in the things that they did without being physically forced to do it? Can they say they were always under coercion? I will see. Another thing we'll see is me getting up out of here. Hey, whatever they think, they're in for a rude awakening. In for a rude awakening. But the word is that 5 years that he did was really in a mental spot. And he was deemed unfit to be around people. This is another important reason why he went off into the tropics somewhere. Because, if you've already been deemed unfit to be around people and you just spent 5 years in a mental spot, you shouldn't be out here unobserved or unmonitored anyway. But if you got somebody like that who can't really be around people, yeah, that's why he ended up going out overseas somewhere and hoping other people would come with him and they would want to stay around him since he's already been sort of ruled as incompetent, as socially incompetent. He can't be around people. But we see what happens when he's around people and what he does to keep them around and what he does to make them feel like they should leave and what he does to play with the mind. It's crazy, y'all. When they told him bail was denied, he said, "Outstanding." Yep. And they screamed when they were watching it. His cult screamed, "I stand out," all by themselves, standing out alone with no overseer, no slave master to tell them, "Sha, sha, sha." How is it going to work now? Are you going to be operating as a family, as one unit, one mind? Or are you going to be operating and trying to separate yourself as a brainwashed victim? The power is in the hands of the cult members, the power to pretty much control their destiny. Something to think about, y'all. Thank y'all for checking out my video and entertaining me in these little minutes right here. Hopefully I wasn't boring. Hopefully I didn't, hopefully I got the juices flowing. That was just him staying on script to keep them in check. Polite Pharaoh, Peligio, their home is jail. When they're out, that may be especially right for Nature Boy. Maybe, yeah, definitely for Nature Boy, especially considering his official, documented mental situation. Yeah, jail is home. Like that's Babylon. Like we've been saying, he brought Babylon to the tropics. That's why it was incongruous. That's why this relationship never worked. Nature Boy and Mother Earth. This is why the relationship never really worked, because it's Nature Boy trying to bond with Mother Earth. But he didn't really bond with Mother Earth. He didn't honor Mother Earth. He was not revering Mother Earth. He wasn't trying to understand Mother Earth. He was just using Mother Earth as a backdrop, as something that he would use as bait, right, for the people that he's recruiting online. He was exploiting Mother Earth, right? Sort of abusing and taking dumps on Mother Earth, burying it in the soil, then coming back talking about some strawberries grew out of it. Come on now. And then they're going to eat the strawberries. And then right back to the earth. So They were shitting all on Mother Earth. And in that coat, he was shitting on the earths in his coat. When we got earth that also represents the woman, he probably made them eat his shit. He was shitting on them and made them eat his shit. That's dangerous. That's wild as fuck. It's really weird, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I'm about to get out of here. I can keep going on for days kind of thing, but I'm not going to roll out. Got some more basketball games to finish checking out. Got a big boxing match. Earl Spence and fighting Jordanis Ugas around 9 p.m. But I want to thank y'all for coming through. Something to think about. Something to think about. The dynamic of the cult when there's a crime committed. Are the members, even if they're 15 years old, are they going to be able to blame the cult leader? Or are they going to have to take it themselves? What do you think? Peace out, y'all. Thank you for pressing the like button and everything. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, because this is it. Oh, wait. You still got Sunday. Yeah. I thought today was Sunday, y'all. I thought today was Sunday. Oh, we're for real? Down there in Texas. I think they're in Houston. They're in the family. They're in the hometown of Earl Spence Jr., who is expected to win, but we may see some flash. We may see some fireworks, and we may see some moments where it looks like Ugas is going to take it. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. Good fight either way. I'll be there. And ladies and gentlemen, you all take it easy, all right? Stay away from cults. Stay away from that type of shit. But, crazy. Crazy, y'all. Crazy story, I swear. That's going to be the question, T-Breeze. Will Nature Boy rise on the third day tomorrow? And will he sit at the right hand of God, the Father Almighty? Or is he pretty much just going to stay there maybe until next Easter? So next year we're going to be right here talking about, well, he's been a year. Do y'all think he's going to rise on this Sunday? Even though he was crucified last year, the 3 days we done multiplied and exponentially multiplied. It's been a year. It's the third day. He still ain't rose. The third month, the third semester, the third season. He still ain't rise from the dead. It's crazy. It's crazy, partners. But anyway, I'm going to stop tripping. I'm going to stop right here before I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. Well, y'all take it easy, y'all. Get yourself make some dinner. Make sure y'all out here and stacking up your increments, and everything gonna see all right. Everything gonna see all right. Peace out, y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. One love.